County governments have a very important role in being the safety net for our community, and because of that, we need to continuously adapt to our community needs. Working with our community partners, taking advantage of some of the investments we made in our employees, we really responded well to the COVID emergency and stepped up when our community needed us most.
In Marin County, we had a really successful response, I believe, because it was led with an equity lens. We recognized that our communities of color were the most vulnerable throughout this pandemic, and that our community-based organizations already had the relationships that were needed to make our response successful.
The Latino community in Marin County always have been the essential workers. They were the essential workers before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and most likely post the pandemic. But they also represent a segment of the population who are low income. They are low-income tenants, low-income workers, and they needed to work in order to succeed and to survive during the pandemic. The county government is a key partner for Canal Alliance and for many CBOs. We complement each other. And thanks to those relationships is that we were able to quickly adapt and change our strategies to respond to the pandemic. Canal Alliance was able to hire residents from the community to do contact investigation, to provide isolation support. We were able to support the testing initiatives. We were able to support the vaccination initiatives. We were able to support the rental assistance programs. And I think that is a reflection of what true partnerships and collaboration are about.
It's not just about community partnerships. It's also about business relationships. In the very beginning of the pandemic, we formed the Marin Recovers Task Force, which was a collaboration between the Chambers of Commerce and industry experts. When it came time to issue industry-specific guidelines for the pandemic, we did it with business partners. Ultimately, when it came down to it, we were committed to safety as a group and also recognized the importance of getting businesses open so residents had a business and a job to return to.
One of the successes of the response here in Marin has been using data to drive decisions. Our public health team and our emergency response team looked for opportunities around the world for best practices. And we found the best practice for drive-through testing in Korea. We brought that idea back to our community-based partners to vet it and to get support. Using that model, we were one of the first counties in the state to have a drive-through testing. We're really proud of that effort.
I don't know what people are talking about. It was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life, probably.
We were excited when we finally had access to a pharmaceutical intervention to stop this pandemic. And we prioritized setting up a mass vaccination site at our Marin Center to ensure that every resident in Marin County would have access to vaccination as soon as possible or as soon as they were eligible.
There is a mass vaccination site that's opening today. You can see they've already got it set up and ready to go.
Marin County is the #1 vaccinated county in the state of California and probably the United States because of our focus on equity. We took the vaccine to the communities instead of waiting for the communities to come to us. That focus on reaching people where they were and using our trusted partners in our community-based organizations really made the difference in us having a successful campaign. And we're really proud that 98% of our Latinx community have received the vaccine.
I am so proud to be a County of Marin employee. Over the course of this pandemic, 1,300 county employees stepped up to be disaster services workers.
We took park workers or library workers or cultural services workers and had them be part of our COVID response.
Whether they were serving in hotels, assisting people experiencing homelessness, handing out food in food lines, setting up testing sites all over the county, or working on our mass vaccination site. But our county employees answered the call to serve our community during this pandemic.
I think government will change forever because of this pandemic, because we have learned so much about delivering services in a way that's appropriate for our community members.
We strive to be a model county government And I think the lessons we learned from the COVID response will help us going forward. We need to listen to our community, we need to collaborate with our community partners, and we need to adapt our services to meet their demands.